Douce. In walks a unicorn. Me, sitting at the bar, looking at the time on my phone. It's exactly 7:29. I'd arranged to meet this girl through a dating site. No problem about that, but she wouldn't send me a photo. We agreed 7:30 here, a very public bar. So if either of us felt wrong about it, we could get out of here, no problem. But there's all kinds of reasons for not wanting to send a photo. But being a unicorn was not one which had occurred to me. Well, not until now. I allow myself 2 or 3 of these dates every month, but so far I haven't found exactly what I want. I'm serious about this dating business. I'm a busy man, no time to waste, so I've drawn up a list of specifications. It's something I've learned to do in my professional life, and it only makes sense to apply it in my personal life as well. I don't expect to hit all of the targets, but maybe 28 out of the 30 would do. Interests, education level, personal hygiene, tidiness, punctuality, important things like that. 4 legs was not on my list. Certainly not all in the one person. The unicorn sweeps through the room with its horn, then points directly at me. I sent a photo, although I was possibly a little younger then, but it recognizes me. It walks slowly, rather elegantly, across the room to me. Its hooves tap the floor like stilettos, disconcertingly like 2 women approaching. A warm, brassy perfume escapes from its nostrils. Joe Malone, I ask myself, and it sits beside me.
You're Stephen, am I right?
A blissfully refined voice, deep but feminine. That's 1 down, 29 to go. Yes, and you are?
Well, clearly I'm
Sophie.
a unicorn. Just call me darling. That will do.
I wasn't really expecting...
Nobody does. That's the problem. People think they know what they want, and then that blinds them to the beauty of the unexpected, the unpredictable.
You could have sent me a photo.
Stephen, sweetie, just look at my hooves. The iPhone's not designed with unicorns in mind. I tried clamping it between my 2 front hooves and tapping it with the horn, but all you get is a giant horn with 2 beady little eyes at the end of it. I find we look our best in illuminated manuscripts, but all of the pictures show male unicorns, generally with a virgin, if one is available.
She looks around the bar, and the soft nostrils flare, and she gives a dismissive laugh.
Discriminatory in my opinion. It's always the same old story. A unicorn is a wild beast, but it can only be tamed by a virgin. Blah, blah. I blame Freud, but then I was blame Freud.
The unicorn does that Lady Diana thing, dropping its head and looking up at me through those flickering eyelashes. She has the eyes and the long nose to perfection, only the foot-long horn detracts from the image.
Stephen, do you feel able to calm the wild beast?
That warm breath again. I sense I'm blushing, transfixed by the deep blue eyes, surrounded by their long, ridiculously beautiful eyelashes. I take rather a large gulp of my wine, an excuse to look away and think for a moment. Here I am, looking for my ideal woman, instead being seduced by a mythical creature. I could complain to the dating site, but I'm worried. Thing is, darling, this does feel weird. I'm very specific about my partner. I have a list, all the desiderata for the perfect partner. I actually carry it with me, just to make sure I don't forget things.
Oh, I see. Like a shopping list. In the ideal world, you'd probably mail it to Tesco's and she'd be there when you get home. Delivered within a convenient time slot.
Well, to be fair, Waitrose.
Does it say human on your list?
No, but I hadn't imagined...
Tell me, Stephen, how do you know what you want before you met her? What? Can you actually want something before you've seen it?
Perhaps not exactly, but I plan my life. I have goals. I want someone who shares my dreams.
Bullshit!
She kicks me. She actually turns around and gets me right across the shins with a kick from her hind leg.
Dreams are private. You don't want to share them with anyone. Only celebrities and advertising agencies believe in that nonsense about dreams being for public consumption. Anyway, at your age, most of your dreams should be far too disgusting to share with anyone. Certainly not on a first date.
She sits back on the bar stool.
You haven't offered me a drink. You're not going to get lucky if you can't do the basics right. Just water, please. In a trough if they can do it. Maybe a carrot or two, just to nibble on. Or cheese straws, if they're not too cheesy. Plain straw would be just great. Just keep me away from the sugar lumps.
I managed to get a bowl of water while she hums gently at my side and looks down at her immaculately manicured hooves.
I'm being a bit harsh with you. My apologies. I do sometimes gallop ahead of myself. Tell me, Stephen, you sweet little biped, what do you do for a living?
Jesus.
I'm sure it's fascinating.
I hate this question, or I hate its answer. How do you say financial advisor in a bank without people falling around and pointing at you? Finance. I work in finance. I advise people.
You're the one setting out conditions and standards for your new partner. Bold, I must say. So, how has this strategy of designing your partner before you meet her worked out so far? I take it you haven't had total success yet.
I remember this one rather horsey girl I met explaining to me how you can tell exactly what a horse is thinking by the angle of its ears. Problem is that the only thoughts a horse seems to have are flight fear and something else I can't remember. There was definitely no ear code for intrusive personal questioning. Well, nothing 100% yet. The ears point forward.
Have we hit 50% yet?
A delicate tilt of the head.
20?
Okay, no, it doesn't work too well. Trouble is that each failure adds to another point or two to the list, and sometimes I feel it does get out of hand. I did try sending a checklist to some of the dates beforehand to save me time, but nobody sent it back. Well, not with the boxes ticked. I did get a couple back with rather explicit drawings on them.
Oh, yes. I've seen some of those on the loo walls here. Triumph of hope over experience for humans. Although, some unicorns I've known.
She drifts into a kind of smiling reverie.
They're often really little mice.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
We really find those comments to be in bad taste. Unicorns take revenge, painful, lasting revenge for horse jokes. Claire Balding hasn't always looked like that, you know.
The anger subsides and she adopts a caring, I'm your therapist kind of pose.
You have enjoyed meeting me, yes or no?
Of course, yeah, yes.
And I meet very few of your criteria. What with the 4 legs and so on.
Scarcely any of them.
Show me a list.
I pull out the list from my jacket, unfold the paper and hold it in front of her. I thought her lips were parting in a sneer, but then slowly they close around the paper and she eats it.
Compost of the gods by tomorrow. Best place for it. You can't judge people against a checklist. Life needs an open mind, not the safe, easy things. You have an imagination, Stephen. You imagine me. Use it when your date comes through the door. Forget this stupid list I just ate. It didn't even taste nice.
So, you're just imaginary?
Of course I'm imaginary. Talking to a unicorn, meeting you in a bar, that's totally absurd and incredible. Only a gullible fool who's out of touch with reality would believe that. But then, you work in a bank.
My phone dings. I look down, the time is still 7:29. The message says, I'm coming through the door now. I look back at the bar stool and Darling has vanished. Except, like the Cheshire Cat's smile, I think I just saw a beautiful eye wink at me for a second. And a faint trace of the scent of hay lingering in the air. And you come through the door at exactly 7:30.